Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello, lovely people. I kind of want to say hello, party people, but I'm not going to. If everyone could find a good, wonderful, comfortable place to sit. I'm Reverend Gregory Fisher, and I'm your host for today. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Sunday celebration at the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville, meeting here at Unity of Nashville. I'd also like to welcome all of those who are watching online. We're excited today because our speakers are the Reverend Rosemary Cathcart and Reverend Denise Yergin, and the title of their talk is The Holy Boldness of Women. I know. I hope that was men applauding as well. We are also pleased to welcome Raven Barrientos and Joelle Platt, better known to us here at CSLN as the Stereo Angels, and they are our special guest music artists today. I can't wait to hear them myself. So who are we? We are an inclusive, open, spiritual community for anyone seeking a deeper connection with God. If you've never been to a Center for Spiritual Living before, we believe there is one God, many paths to that God, and we are here to love, honor, and support you. Whatever your divine path is, the Center for Spiritual Living is a safe haven for people of all beliefs and lifestyles. Wherever you may find yourself on your journey of faith, you are welcome here. So, with all that said, let's begin our service. And so, we begin with the word that is spoken, that is creative, that is present, that is now. Please find yourself comfortable in your seat. Lower those shoulders, let them just drop. Take a deep breath all the way down to your belly. Hold it for a moment. This is a centering breath. Find that center which is you, but also is greater than you. And exhale. And let's know this truth, that there is only one thing. Everything that exists, everything that was created, everything that will ever exist is found in that one thing, and that includes you and that includes me. We are it, but not all of it. It is me. It is you, but it is also greater than me and you, and we have access to it at all times. So in this moment of gathering, of community, of celebration, of centering our lives, let us know that everything that is said and done will be exactly whole, complete, and perfect, what we need right now. Anything that might look different than this, anything that might seem different than this is an innocent misunderstanding, and I let it go. Let it go. And know this truth, everything is for me. Everything is for me. Everything is for us. I open myself to it. I am grateful and thankful for it. I release this thought to the universal law of truth, of cause and effect, of attraction. I attract these things to me. I let them be so. And so it is.
Spend your whole life building something from nothing. One storm can come and blow it all away. Build it anyway. You can chase a dream that seems so out of reach, and you know it might not ever come. that tomorrow they'll forget you ever sang. Sing it anyway. Yeah, sing it anyway. I sing, I dream, I love
That's Joelle and Raven, everyone.
Wow. So my name is Marla Sanderson. I'm a practitioner here. I'm also an ordained minister in the Centers for Spiritual Living. And I have chosen, once again, I have chosen Living the Science of Mind for my reading today. And the chapter I've chosen is called Let God Do It. And I'm going to read some selected paragraphs because it's too long to read the whole thing. But I found it very inspiring. Let God do it. In the Colorado Rockies, there is a beautiful valley from which many mountains gush forth. Let me correct that. In the Colorado Rockies, there is a beautiful valley from which many fountains gush forth. Jeez. Each fountain is different. More water comes from some than from others. But there is only one body of water at a deep subterranean level, which flows through each of them. Each fountain is supplied from this body of water, and the water that gushes through each has a pressure within itself that causes it to flow upward with an irresistible force. This may be likened to our own spiritual nature. We as individuals each have our own thoughts, feelings, hopes, aspirations, and desires, and each is directly and intimately connected with the one divine life, energy, and power. Each of us is a fountain of life. There is a God pressure back of each one of us, a life force seeking outlet through our thoughts and acts. There are many fountains, many individuals, but only one God pressure back of all. Let us personalize these fountains and give to each the power to block the flow of water through it. One fountain might say, well, I don't know whether there is enough water. I am not quite certain that I am an outlet for this great ocean of water. I am not even certain that I believe there is enough pressure in it to keep on flowing. Perhaps it will stop tomorrow. Another fountain might say, I am so confused over everything. I am so uncertain about everything that I have come to the point where I really don't know what's going to happen. Let us make believe that these mental attitudes from the fountains could actually stop the flow of water through them. Would that not be about the way it is for all of us at times? We become so frustrated with our little thoughts and fears and doubts that it makes it impossible for us to let God flow through us with the joy of life. It is not with the divine pressure that seeks to express itself through us. Our trouble is with ourselves. We are born with a natural desire to express life, but almost from birth, certain factors have entered our experiences which have tended to congest the flow until finally it has almost stopped. We are trying to be fountains all on our own, not realizing each one is rooted in God, that there is a power greater than we are, a pressure against our lives from a divine source which is self-acting. But suppose someday we go out to open the head gate through which the water flows and no water comes. What do we do then? Do we sit down and bemoan our fate? Do we lament and beat our breast and say, woe is me? Do we say, perhaps God doesn't want us to have any water today? Or do we question whether or not the water is even withholding itself from us? We do none of these things. We realize that somehow, somewhere, the pipe is blocked. And so we follow it back and discover that sand has gotten into it, or mud or silt. We clean out the debris, and at once the flow resumes. This is pretty much what happens in our lives when they're unhappy and incomplete. Somewhere we have stopped the flow. The water is still up there in the mountains, the pipe is in place, but somewhere something has gotten into this pipe that does not belong there. So we turn on the faucet and nothing happens. Well, there is no use sitting around bemoaning our fate. It is time for us to do something about it. It is time for us to follow the pipeline of our own existence back to its source, to find out what blocks it and to loose it, to free it, that the flow may resume. It is time for us to let God do it. It is time for us to let God do it. I think that's important. One can say to oneself every day, I am a fountain of life, and the living waters of God flow through me. One can say to oneself, I will express joy today. I will be happy. I will bring gladness and enthusiasm into every experience of life. I will maintain a quiet confidence and peace and a sense of serenity. And I will be glad for the achievement of others and rejoice in their success. One can learn to love people if one wishes to. So let us go into that place. I'd like us all to become aware of our breath. Just breathe an easy breath of life, an easy breath of love. And as we do this, follow that breath down with your mind to that place down inside where the breath seems to come from. And let us imagine that we are in that place of the divine source, where it all is, where all good is, where the power is, and the pressure to express ourselves, to be ourselves. And from that place, we know we are one, truly one with this source. It is the life we live. It is the relationships, the experience, our wallets, our checking accounts. It is all of that. It is the actions we take, the way we express ourselves, and we are expressing ourselves so easily with love and joy and peace. Harmony and happiness is so easy. And I know that as I relax into this place, everything becomes easy for me. Everything is blessed. Everything in my life is blessed. I let go of any blocks I might have that would impede the flow of this divine action in my life. I let go of doubts and fears. I let go of worries and concerns. And I know that I am guided by divine wisdom, divine love, and I am made healthy and whole by divine life. It is all so good, and I am so grateful that I can tune into this just this way or in any other way. I am never apart from it. But sometimes it helps to become more aware of it. And that is what I am doing more and more every day, becoming aware of this divine source within. And so now, knowing that I am never apart from it, I now release these words to the creative law, that law that always says yes. It is so. It is done. And we can say together, and so it is.
I am light, I am love.
I didn't know when I came in here this morning I was going to get to hear that beautiful song, and then I heard them rehearsing it, and I went over and said, oh, that's one of my very favorite songs. They said Larry picked it, so thank you, Larry. It was just lovely. Was it not lovely? Give them another hand.
Amazing.
So,
Good morning.
this woman,
Hi, honey.
we have become really close on this walk together, and it's been beautiful for both of us. And so it is my pleasure again to be here, and I will say a little codicil. I will try my best to stay on my script. You know how that is.
You will not. It's a hope. It's a
I have
hope.
a hard time staying on a script. I've always had, but I will do my best today.
Well, maybe I'll follow you
And maybe
better.
you'll follow me.
I'll follow
There you go.
better. That's all.
So we're going to begin by telling a story. So just listen for a moment. In a magical valley, protected by the ancient spirits of towering Catskill Mountains, a sacred fire was lit.
The flame that kindled the sacred fire was originally ignited in 1986, just outside of the United Nations building by Chief Shenandoah of the Iroquois Nation. He rubbed two sticks together to create a spark, then lit a torch for peace in the International Year of Peace.
That morning, in the gleaming sunlight of a beautiful sunrise, the UN building shone in that gleaming, beautiful sunlight. The great hall of Micah was envisioned and spoken of in a Hopi prophecy for the last 1,000 years.
A message was to be delivered to an amazing, shining place at a time of the great turning, in hopes of ushering in a millennium of peace in the world. The Hopi knew the times described in that ancient prophecy had come.
Through extraordinary cooperation, the peace torch traveled from the great hall of Micah around the world through 62 countries in 86 days. During the flame's miraculous journey, it was borne by thousands and thousands of runners and witnessed by millions and millions of people, including many world leaders.
When the torch at last returned to the United Nations, there were incredible stories about the powerful alchemical nature of the fire. Afterward, the flame was brought to the altar of the Holy Santiago de Chimayo in New Mexico, where it has since been kept burning, except for when it traveled to the hallowed land of the Iroquois in 2004.
Surrounded by golden woods and in the cool, still evening air of mid-October 2004, the flame ignited an unprecedented and historic gathering of 13 indigenous grandmothers from around the world, keepers of their tribes, teachings from original times.
The grandmothers had come to fulfill another ancient prophecy known by many of the world's indigenous tribes. When grandmothers from the four directions speak, a new time is coming.
So today, Rosemary and I will be weaving our words with the bold and visionary words of the feminine spirit, words that offer healing, words that offer wholeness for each of our hearts and for the world.
She's doing really well,
I
guys.
am.
She's right. She's being a good doobie today. She's right on script. I hope I didn't jinx us, right?
It's good.
Thank you so much, Denise. It's a lovely privilege to once again share this sacred space, the building, and our time together. And I couldn't help but think when our lovely stereo angels were singing, all the love and light that was up on this stage, all of the musicians, the singers, you could feel the energy elevating, couldn't you? Yeah. That's what magic does. Ooh, here we are again. We're going to conjure up all the spirits of the wise, bold, brave women from every generation. Just think about who that is in your life, in your lineage. We need their strength and their courage now more than ever before. I have been the grateful recipient of teachings from a number of Native American elders, but none more intimate than my connection with Wallace Black Elk and his partner in all things, the strong, bold, and occasionally really snarky Grace Spotted Eagle, his wife. As I was apprenticing at the Aquarian Research Center in West Palm Beach, Florida, Wallace and Grace were frequent presenters over the course of 10 years. They stayed in my home, giving me the chance to truly bond with them. When you cook breakfast for people and you get to visit with them between programs, and then you share stories late into the evening, a particular kind of bonding magic happens. These Lakota Sioux elders took me on as their granddaughter in my 5th year of training with them. Now, this is not just like signing up for a class. You study, you set up sweat lodges, you clean lots of junk. They watch you day and night to see how you maintain your level of equilibrium. So the same rules don't apply. When you are held in this esteemed and noble grasp by an elder, an entirely new set of rules hold you in place. I agreed to follow their lead and to obey whatever was, she's laughing because she knows, obey whatever was asked of me. This goes well beyond the usual ordinary student-teacher relationship. When the student is as ardent and as committed as the teacher, this becomes a commitment beyond the physical realm of here and now. I had come to Nashville to do a radio program and to participate in the Glastonbury Fair, which was a psychic festival of healers and readers. I got so lost, so twisted, trying to leave Nashville on I-440 that I swore I would never come back to this godforsaken place ever again. We see how that panned out, right? You gotta be really careful what you swear to. About a month after I got home, I received a call from a woman who had heard me speak, and she said, "I know you have no Native American training, but I have been told repeatedly in my dreams that I need you to come here to set a medicine wheel." After clarifying that I did indeed have plenty of training, I told her the dates were already booked and I could not possibly make the trip. 10 minutes later, the phone rang again. She called back to say that as she was leaving her driveway, she lived on Highway 100, 7:45 in the morning, which is usually jam-packed with people. There were no other cars. There was a misty circle in the middle of the road with 7 black crows just sitting there. And out of the furthest portion of the circle, this woman came walking toward her, shaking her fingers, saying, "You get back in there and get Rosemary to Nashville now." And no excuses, no excuses. This woman was trying to be so polite with me on the phone, and I finally let her off the hook. I said, "Did this woman seem really bitchy?" And she said, "Yes, she was. I said, "Well, that was Grandmother Gray's spotted eagle. But I still can't make it on those dates. I'm really sorry." We hung up. Just a moment later, the phone rang. And before I could lose my temper, which is a big one, the voice on the other end of the line was another granddaughter calling to tell me, "Rosemary, Grandmother Grace died this morning." At 3:30 a.m. in Colorado. And she has been making appearances all over the world to her best students. If you get a message from Grandmother, you must do what she asks you to do. So I made friends with 440 when I moved back to Nashville. And yes, I came to set the medicine wheel.
So speaking of medicine wheel, give her an applause for that. That was amazing.
Ooh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a true story.
That's what we're doing this morning, is telling true stories of our lives and how we have been asked by Holy Spirit to be bold in times when we weren't sure that we even knew what we were doing, that we were guided. So speaking of medicine wheels, the church that Judy Blackwelder and I run for many, many years we did an event every year called Nashville Chooses Peace. And in that event, we created a big human peace symbol on our grounds. And every year we'd have 350, 400 people standing in it and a drone flying over and taking pictures. And one of those years, it showed up on Channel 4 News, and it was rather exciting. Well, every year we would plan and go, what do we want to do next? We decided we wanted some Native Americans there. And so one of our congregants knew Chief Arvil Lookingglass in South Dakota and said, "You and me and this other lady that was part of the Healing Arts need to go visit him." And say what? Because I was like, would you come to our peace circle, please? So we actually did that in a February in South Dakota. Now, I had no idea what I was stepping into. There were feet and feet and feet of snow, okay? Driving through what seemed like a blizzard, us three women in a car, trying to make it to Chief Arvil's reservation. We finally get there. I was like, shoo, Lord mercy. Basically, what we did was go ask him if he would be willing to come to Nashville, Tennessee, to help us set up a medicine wheel and to do a peace circle with hundreds of people in it from many different walks of life, all colors, all races, all different religions, all everything. And we offered him some tobacco. If you've ever known how to work with Native Americans, that's what you do. And he said, "Yes, my dear, I would love to come. But I need to teach you about something also." And him and his wife taught me how to set a medicine wheel. Because they have a special thing that they do every year on June the 21st, which was just a few days ago. It is called the World Peace and Prayer Day, and they invite all peoples to pray for peace that day together. And so when they taught me how to do this, and they taught me in the middle of our Nashville Chooses Peace Day, Chief Arvil, his wife Paula, and they also brought Grandmother Aggie, one of the 13 indigenous grandmothers, to our event. And as he taught me how to set the medicine wheel, he said, "Now," and did that to me, "Now, my dear, it is yours to do every year on June 21st. And I said, "Well, what if I'm not here with this group of people?" He said, "Do it by yourself. It is yours to do every year on June 21st. We have to get the message out. Because," he said, "we believe that some among us have forgotten their spirit. among with the spirit of Mother Earth and all of her creatures. The four-leggeds, the two-leggeds. There are disconnected souls that are beginning to hurt each other. And so I asked his wife, Paula, when I could be with her by myself, I said, so how did he become this amazing chief? Because he is the tent keeper of the sacred white buffalo calf pipe and bundle. So this is not just your average little person. This is somebody that was like, whoo. And the minute he walked onto our property, he just fell down to the ground and went, this is sacred here. This is sacred grounds here. You need to know that. And so I asked his wife about how he stayed in that place of peace, because you may have seen him on television when they were trying to run the Dakota pipeline through, and him and his people, stopped that. And he is always working in ways that help Mother Earth. And I said, how does he stay so peaceful? And she said, we visualize the creative power and we pray healing. 7 generations back for all of those who have been before. 7 generations forward for all those who have yet to be born. And I want you to close your eyes for a minute, because here's the prayer that they asked me to pray. Creator of all, we see, we hear, we taste, we smell, and we touch. And we remember in this moment, Mother Earth is the source of life. We remember in this moment, we are one with all peoples, all animals, all plants, all rocks, all we see, and all things we can't see. Let peace become our way, so that peace may prevail on earth. And so just breathe into that. And when you open your eyes, think about how the world could shift if that was our prayer. And I know that may sound a little lofty, peace around the globe, when what we see on the news or hear through social media sometimes may be anything other than peace. So how do we step into that peace? I believe Rosemary has a story to share.
Yes, I do. And I wanted to also remind everybody, if you didn't see it, this June 4th, a new white buffalo calf was born.
Yes.
Whenever that happens, just Google it. It means that there is hope, and that hope is coming from the ancestors. So it's a wonderful day. I brought something. This is a prayer pouch that was a gift to me from another bold, wise woman. You may not know that there is a labyrinth at the back of this property. I was the one who set that labyrinth with my friend Patty Silver, who was a fabulous Native American healer, and Jimmy Scott was the minister then, and he said we could do anything but invade his office. We tried. So, yes, thank you, Denise.
Oh, you're welcome.
Peace for all of us, I think, is a must, and we all know it starts in here. I do have a story that I think is worth talking about. You know, in these traditions, shamanic traditions, so much work happens in just visiting, in just sitting and talking. And one day, a grandmother was sitting with her granddaughter, just talking about how she felt about life and how she felt about things in her world. And she said to the granddaughter, I feel as if I have 2 wolves fighting in my heart. One wolf is the vengeful, angry, frightened, violent wolf. The other wolf is the loving, kind, compassionate one. the granddaughter asked, "Grandmother, which wolf will win the fight in your heart?" And the grandmother responded, "The one I feed."
Just breathe into that for a minute. The one we feed. And so I want to share a small little story about my experience with Grandmother Aggie. She is no longer in the human body, but she was one of the original 13 indigenous grandmothers from all over the globe. And she came with Chief Arville and Paula because they knew that our church facility was really close, a block and a half away from Old Hickory Lake. And she was all about the waters. And she wanted to take us down to the waters and do a special blessing for the waters. Of course, she had all kinds of things that she talked about, and she wasn't really thrilled with TVA or all those kinds of things. She was like, the waters need to flow. The waters need to flow. That's what they were there for, is to flow. And so I had many conversations with her, and she was an amazing light. But like you were talking about, she was very brutal at times in what she would say. And I asked her one day, I said, "Grandmother Aggie, how do you continue to do this work?" She was up in her upper 80s and had flown with her daughter, Nadine, to our congregation and had been there all weekend and spoke during the festival and spoke on Sunday morning and then did a workshop, and we went and blessed the waters. I mean, she was busy all weekend. And she said, "You have to stay in the flow, Denise. You have to keep being connected to your I am presence. You have to know what you're here on the earth to do, and you have to get rid of all those beliefs that are running the ship inside of you." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And again, here's somebody tapped me right here. She walked over to me and said, "That belief that you're not good enough, you need to work on that." And I went, "Excuse me, how do you know that?" She said, "I know. I know. That's yours. That's yours to work on, Denise, because when you finally get the fact that you're a divine being of this universe and that you are here for a certain reason and this is it, then you realize you're good enough."
Thank you. At least she didn't slap you.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
She did tap me really hard. I had a bruise right there after
That
she...
has happened to me, and you can't react. Anyway. I think that is something that many great teachers have in common. And perhaps it's wrapped up in the notion that we might not know enough or do enough quickly enough for enough people. I'd like to share something now that I've shared before. It's not Native American. It is a Sufi exercise. And it's something that always brings me right back to center. I have a very critical, busy brain, and this teaching has saved my life. But we all need things that we can call up in an instant, and this is one that I use. So just feel it, hear it with your heart. Just like me. Just like me, this person is seeking some happiness for themselves. Just like me, this person is trying to avoid suffering in their life. Just like me, this person has known sadness, loneliness, and despair. Just like me, this person is seeking to fulfill their needs. Just like me, this person is learning about life. Isn't that all we're all trying to do? Figure out the journey, figure out who we are, where we fit. This, even if you only remember just like me, you can be standing in line at the grocery store and looking at somebody who may not be a size 6 and they've got cookies and donuts and ice cream and candy. Where will your mind go? You got to go right, just like me. Just like me, this person is learning about life, and it will soften everything.
And so I just want to end again with the prayer that we had earlier. And so I just want you to close your eyes and remember that I usually ask you first to do a reset breath, which means just blow out anything that might be sitting in your mind, in your body, in any recesses. Just let it go. And if there's anything else you need to let go of, do that also. Take another breath out. And then you're going to put your left hand over your heart and your right hand where your thumb is close to your belly button. What you're doing is connecting to the energy that is flowing from the universe down through the top of your head, all the way through and out the ends of your toes. And just allow yourself and your breath to balance for a moment within your body. Many times we hold our breath when we're worried about something or trying to figure out something. There's nothing to do and there's nothing to figure out. There's only to be in this moment. And so in this moment, Creator of all we see, of all we hear, taste, smell, and touch, may we remember this moment. May we remember this light flowing through us now. May we remember Mother Earth is the source of life. May we remember that we are one with all peoples, all animals, all plants, all rocks, all we see, and all we can't yet see. Let peace become our way, so that peace may prevail on earth. And so it is.
And so it is.
Namaste.
Fabulous. You did good.
Whew. Okay. Interesting that there's a woman in my life, Jenny Gentry, who is a Toltec Noir woman who speaks hard truth to me. Yeah, I keep going back. I'll be going again in October, but wow, okay. Now is the time we give back to that which serves us. If something has touched you today, there are many ways you can share the love with us, and we are grateful for your offering. I'd like to ask Mila and Cynthia, our ushers who are serving as volunteers today, if you'd come forward. We also have a few other ways we can accept your gift other than offering baskets. You can use a credit card in our bookstore, or you can find a placard with a QR code on the desk out in the lobby. For our online viewers, please make a contribution using the link in the description below, or mail your check to our P.O. Box, which is on our website, cslnashville.org. Now, please say with me our affirmation. Oh, hello, there it is, yay. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is. Thank you for your loving gifts.
You're the soul who understands the scars that made me who I am. Through the drifting sands of time, I got your back and you got mine. should bear a heavy load. I'll be your wheels, I'll be the road. I'll see us through the thick and thin, for love and lost until the end. 'Cause you carry me with you, from the highest of the peaks to the darkness of the blue. I was just too blind to see, like a lighthouse in a storm. You were always guiding me. It's true. You carry me with you, from the day it all began. Yeah, you were there, took my hand, and when it hurt a bit too deep, you watched me as I fell asleep. And when my head was in the clouds, you found a way to pull me out. You picked my heart up off the ground and showed me love was all around. Yeah, you carry me with you, from the highest of the peaks to the darkness of the blue. I was just too blind to see, like a lighthouse in a storm. You were always guiding me. Yes, you carry me with you. Oh, we'll be sitting on the world together, watching as the days turn into night. And we know how to brave the stormy weather, and we're never giving up without a fight. And if you should ever bear a heavy load, I'll be your wheels, I'll be the road. I'll see us through the thick and thin, for love and lost until the end. 'Cause you carry me with you, from the highest of the peaks to the darkness of the blue. I was just too blind to see, like a lighthouse in a storm. You were always guiding me. Yes, you carry me with you. Oh, you carry me with you.
Stereo Angels, Joel and Raven. Thank you.
All right. A big thank you to our speakers, Rosemary and Denise. Thank you, thank you. To our special musical guests, the Stereo Angels. That would be Raven and Joel. Thanks to the band, always, Larry Faragelli, our music director. Don, and I'm going to call you the Mark Squared. Right? I like it. Mark and Mark, the Marks. Oh, no, I'm not going to say that. Oh, boop. Okay. Thanks to everyone who made the service great today. I have a few announcements that I'm going to run through very fast. Today is our third community conversation Bravo lunch. Following today's service, we will honor our volunteers and explore where we are on our journey with CSLN. The community conversation will begin at 1:30, lunch will be at 2, and we will conclude at 4:30, period. Join us next Sunday, June 30th, for a brunch mixer with Unity. It will be held during the time between Unity's service and our service, so that's from 10:30 to 11:45. Come to our service early for a light brunch and a chance to get to know the folks at Unity. That would be lovely. Then after our service next Sunday, there will be a town hall to discuss CSLN's next steps. Yes, next Sunday is busy. Come early and stay late. I like it. Yeah, I'm singing. So anyway, join practitioner David Arnholter for a class, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, beginning on Tuesday evening, July the 9th, and it runs for 6 weeks. This is a perfect class for anyone who is new to our center and Science of Mind, or anyone who wants a refresher. Yesterday, Dale Rogers officially became a licensed practitioner. Yes, indeed. As someone who has gone through that process over 20 years ago, it does not get easier. In fact, I think it's gotten harder since I did it 20 years ago. The practitioners in the room are all nodding their heads. So congrats to your tenacity, Dale, and you're going to make it a wonderful addition. Before we close our service, we'd like to welcome our visitors. Thank you for being here, and we invite you to come to the fellowship hall through that door. To the and meet our community. There'll be light refreshments after the service. And I want to thank Karen Sorensen, who is today's hospitality volunteer. If you're, yay, Karen. She's already back there. I saw her get up and go out. If you're watching online, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up, because you know all things social media require a thumbs up, apparently. That's where we're at in society. I'd like to ask our practitioners and our speakers to come up front. If there's anything on your heart or mind today for which you could use assistance from one of our practitioners, please don't leave today without allowing us to honor and work with you. These people have been trained and licensed. They've passed a lot of scrutiny to have a way of assisting you. If you've never worked with a practitioner, I promise you it will make a huge difference. Or you can fill out a prayer request form, which is out in the hallway by the meditation room. If you're watching online, please go to the website. Under the practitioner tab, you can contact any of us directly. Okay, if you'd stand. I'm going to do a closing treatment, and then we're going to sing our closing song. So if we take a deep breath, we become aware of our center once again. That place in us that reminds us if we come here, we will find connection. We become aware of connection. We become attuned. And in this place, we know that there is only one thing, one God, one light, one love, one power, one authority. And that is me. Right there, there I am, and there are you. In this place we're connected, we're joined with all that is. So today we know this, love and light, and peace are our inheritance. We know this to be true. We can feel it at the very center of our being. And we can always come back to this place and find it. It's right there. I am so grateful. I am so thankful for this place, for these people, for this teaching, and for this truth that is with me now and always. With such gratitude, I release. I let these words go, knowing they are so, and so it is.
All right, we're already standing. This is good. Where's our lyrics? And we're good to go. Our lyrics are there. Let's sing along. Got your fellow man in the helping hand with love in your heart. See you standing there. Oh, please don't hesitate. Put love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see.
This program is a service of the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. May your life be filled with joy and prosperity in every way. Learn more about our programs or contact one of our practitioners at our website, cslnashville.org. You may also want to follow us on Facebook at CSLNASH. You can make a big difference with your financial gift at lovecsln.com. Please share the link to this program with a friend and join us again next Sunday. Have a wonderful week.